You hear that? You know what that means? That timer means that time is officially up. It's over. The last time I made a video talking about the state of Rematch, some of you liked it, some of you reciprocated it, some of you did not. And here we are again. I'm going all the way. I'm showing you all things that you as the normal Rematch enthusiast would never see. I'm going all the way. The other day I was inside of the Rematch creator chat. For those of you that don't know, probably a majority of you, this is a chat devised for all the Rematch creators that were pumping out content at one point, for us to get an exclusive inside look, just to see what's going on and just to voice our concerns and our thoughts. We were also told there was going to be some kind of collaboration or, you know, creator thing in the future. That never happened. That's what it was for. Okay, I saw some chats that were, I wouldn't say concerning, but interesting for me to bring up in the video, so now I'm going to talk about it. So, a lot of the recent chats in the Rematch server were concerning the state of the game. I will argue that the state of the game is probably worse than it's ever been. You'll see a cutoff point of Rematch attention to the game, and I would say it's probably about 4 months ago. About 4 months ago, I would say that the game had the most amount of traction on YouTube and overall. And if we look at the Steam charts, you'll see that about approaching a couple months ago now, we had a free weekend and it jolted back up to 23,000 players, and people thought that this was going to fix the game. This is it. We're coming back. And then within that same week, we went back down to 8K after the free weekend was over. And now we ride surface at about 4,000 players per. You know, it's sometimes it peaks at 5K, but considering it used to be at 92,000 and now it's at 4,000, obviously somewhere we went wrong. In my last video criticizing Rematch and Slow Clap as a whole, a lot of comments on my video were angry with me, saying that I'm just complaining, I'm not explaining how to fix it. I'm just bitching, I'm not giving opinions that would actually help fix the game. Okay. Well, today I'm going to try and do that while best conveying exactly what I believe to be the problem about Rematch. I've grabbed a couple screenshots, which I guess I'll pull up, but also maybe put on the screen. Okay. A couple screenshots here. Mogzy, if y'all don't know, one of the biggest content creators still making content for Rematch. I can pull up his channel real quick. So this is one of the biggest channels still making content for Rematch, right? He's still doing the updates. He's still trying to make new dynamic content. And as you can see, there's been a huge breach in what you would say is lucrative Rematch views around the time that I would argue the game died. Like I can definitively say that I believe the game died as soon as they released season 1. Too much stuff wasn't changed. Too many things that people liked were taken out, and too many gameplay mechanics were altered to a point to where people were not enjoying the game. They did season 1 and a free weekend, and just for a moment it looked like it was good. 23,000 players, it was great. And then it dipped back down to 5,000 players within a few days, and we realized that maybe this game is actually evolving, but backwards. The great Mogzy says, honestly, the sheer number of crashes in this game is absolutely insane. I've been playing Arc Raiders for the past few days. Don't think I've crashed once, nor have any friends. Rematch though, ellipses. Jump back in for a few quick games. Can't get a single match for 30 minutes because at least one player crashes during queue. It's so infuriating because all we want to do is play. Would love to hear something from the devs about this because it's really completely unacceptable so long after release. I agree. Bobbin says, another Rematch YouTuber who I've done collabs with in the past, I would love to hear just about anything from the devs. I'd really love to talk to whoever is making decisions because I feel like the community feedback hasn't really been heard. This is one of the biggest problems for me. No matter how small your development company is, I have seen development companies, literally Megabong, the most popular game, roguelike that's come out of fruition for the past year, I'd say probably. It's a one-man dev team. One person made Megabong. And he still replies daily on the Reddit, on the comments, you know, in YouTube, in the Steam developer page. He is actively replying to not every, but a lot of comments daily saying, oh, my bad, I messed up here, I'll fix it here. I messed up here, I'll fix it here. One thing that's so bad about Ass Clap is that they never respond. They don't never release a developer note saying, hey guys, we messed up on X and X so and so. Here y'all go. Here's the answer. Here's the answer. Here's the answer. Oh, we noticed a lot of people were worried about this and that and this. Well, here we go. Here's this and that and this, or why we haven't been doing it. Maybe sometimes we'll get an announcement in Discord saying, hey y'all, we messed up, we're fixing it. Hey y'all, there's a hot fix coming. And sometimes they'll upload a developer note on the website. But like, why have we not gotten face-to-face communication? Why have we not gotten active responses? Why is there nobody on the dev team that's also in charge of answering questions that's being asked on forums and on posts? Because let's be honest, Rematch does not pull enough traction on any post to act like we can't be responding to comments. And I feel like us being left in the dark makes the future so much more bleak, because it's hard for us to continue supporting the company whenever we hear nothing. And now let me break this into two sections: content creators and the average player. The average player isn't so much affected by this, because they can always boot up the game and say, fuck it, I'm gonna play Rematch. But content creators over here, it's hard, because our job is to put more eyes on the game because we like the game, and so we want more people to play the game so that the game can be more prosperous, so we can continue doing our job. See how it works out? It's symbioticism at its finest. The problem is that we never get any communication. We never know what's happening or why, or whenever the game's in a bad state, since Rematch has pledged only to do one update per month, it seems, except for hot fixes and bug fixes. It feels like the game is stuck. It feels like the game is stuck. Leading on to my next point, there was a comment in the Discord that actually it piqued my interest. This is where I say, it's rough to say. As of yesterday, Rematch had less than 1,000 YouTube searches. With this feedback and content roadmap, the game was designed to fail. There's not enough creativity or longevity behind it. They let the ends derail the means and took the arcade out of the arcade soccer game. It feels like in searching for its specified identity, the game lost its own unique. Now, let me explain. This is a statement from me. Let me explain what I mean. The game, when it first was released, a lot of people just blotch over what the game was like in the first beta with bugs and glitches. They're like, we couldn't play the game. Bugs and glitches ran the game. No, they didn't. That's how I can tell those people didn't actually play the game back whenever it was first released in the beta, because in my day, the biggest bug we had to worry about was the blade shot. And let me tell you, that shit was beautiful. The blade shot was great. It was stoppable. You could outplay it, and it was also a fun way to make a solo play yourself. That was the biggest bug we had. There was no ippy slide. Golden Dash was still new. It was like, you might see 1 out of every 50 people doing a Golden Dash, but they were stand users. Like, they were very rare. It just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And in this patch of the game, the movement was clean and fast. It was very goofy, you know, the tussles, the fights felt kind of either way. And then you'd have your people who could dribble the whole team. You had your people who loved team play. You had your people who could shoot like demons with the blade shot and whatnot. It was great. Not everyone knew everything. Whether you guys look back on it with passion or remembrance or nostalgia, or whether you hated it, at the end of the day, that was when the game had the most players. Not just because it was new, but because that's when it was the most fun. It had a unique identity. With people blotching over and stripping away parts from that project every single patch, now we reduced what was the goofy arcade soccer game, you know, the soccer game where you kick the ball and it hits the wall and bounces back. That doesn't happen for real. So the soccer game where you do that as a mechanic, it got stripped down to something that was much more boring and much more elusive. And this is why I say they let the ends derail the means. What I mean by that is they let what they wanted Rematch to be skew what it had become. And what it had become was already its own unique title. It was finished. Maybe not finished. No. It needed some polishing, but it was good. People hopped on it. Listen, I was there every day. I had no job. Every single day I saw the gratuitous amount of people hopping on Rematch. Like, I'm talking in my server, everyone was playing Rematch. In the Discord server, in the Rematch Discord server, everyone was playing Rematch. Everywhere I went, there was events, tournaments, it's beef sets, custom matches. It was everywhere. And being in this community, I have watched the slow eventual peak death of Rematch. I've seen it. Bob and states here that I enjoy the game still, but making content on it is just making the same video over and over again. I don't quite agree with that. I think that that's in the eye of the beholder. Even though all my videos follow a certain flow chart, I don't ever feel like I've made the same video again and again. I don't quite agree with that, but I can understand why he's saying that, because there's no new content. I'm gonna listen, say what you want about me, I'm all ears. People like to think that I was some glitchy bug abuser all the time. That's probably the people who went and clicked on most popular on my channel and saw the golden dash and stuff like that. Listen, I'm a YouTuber. I wanted clicks because I wanted money. That's how it works. It was fun and it gave me money. Boom, I needed that. But you'll see later in my lifespan, I actually became more of a traditional dribbler and someone who played the game the way it was meant to be played. I mostly dribble. Maybe an ippy slide here and there to say, hey, let's 1v1, but that's about it. I was a dribbler. But I think the game, what it should have done is it should have leaned into that arcade feeling. It should have leaned into it. So for instance, the golden dash, we could see a lot of people were interested in it. It's a fun way to dribble. If you do it right, it looks cool. Maybe instead of or maybe not instead, but while you're attacking those glitches and those bugs, getting them removed, what you should do is find a way to install it in a way that it makes it casual and fun for the players. Like, since you see a lot of people, some like the golden dash, some like to shoot, some like to use it for speed, maybe devise game modes that has special abilities or special properties. That way you can still do those things, because a lot of people argue that the game's in a better state right now to play ever since they removed all those tiny things from the game. The player count don't say that. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you might attack if this gets the traction. A lot of you might attack me for that opinion, but at the end of the day, the game had almost 45,000 more times more. Oh wait, that's so wrong. Cut that out. The game had 95,000 more players than it does right now on average daily for about 3 months, when the game was in what you guys call a worse state. And I know not all of you think that, but some of you think that. And I just think that we really let the vision of what they wanted derail the truth of what we had. And that was a very important thing not to let go of. I don't know. Lastly, Balder responded to my comment. He says, I think in a weird way that a delay would have helped the game more than anything. A chance to just polish some of the stuff that was missing. Adding in some form of custom games, more so in the workshop variety way, a leaderboard crossplay at launch would have helped. I think the comp meta bricked it at the time as well. Although let's not forget that many a game have made comebacks from worse spots, but it's a hard battle. I agree with some parts and I disagree with other parts. Let's talk about what I disagree with first. Some games have made a bigger comeback from a worse spot. Absolutely not. Rematch is one of the worst tanks in video game history. Like, it is one of the worst 100 to zeros of all time. It's actually almost unmatched. It has one of the fastest fall offs I have ever seen. Now, a comeback that I think could happen, and this requires a lot of work from the dev team. And this is why I don't have faith in the dev team, because we never hear anything from the dev team. But one thing I think that could save the game, call me wrong if I'm wrong, and I'd love to listen to the criticism. We need modability or player customization. And what I don't mean customization as in aesthetically or cosmetically. I mean, we need the ability to create our own game modes, customize our own characters, and have our own shot trails or impact, a customization. And I feel like once the game was open source and you were able to make your own game modes or your own abilities or your own whatever the hell you want to do, I feel like that could bring the game back. I think that is the only thing that could bring the game back. A collab, cosmetic freedom, player modability, being able to mod the game. It has to happen. That's the only way I think the player base would start to trickle back in, because Rematch right now is not fun. It can be. I still enjoy the game. It can be fun. But if you're saying the game that we have right now was as fun as the game we had in the beta, ooh, you're a liar. I don't know. So, anywho, I hope that some of my criticisms today have been seen as not just me complaining, and some of the issues I've listed about the dev communication, the state of the game. The problem, I think, because I really think, is that the game evolved backwards, just like PewDiePie once said. The GOAT. I really just think the game evolved backwards to a point to where it feels as though the devs betrayed the players. I'm sorry if you disagree with my opinions. I'm not trying to drag the game. I still love it. I'm still going to make videos. That's how you know I love it. I'm still going to make content on it. I just hope that it has some turnaround. Also, I'm going to say it. I'm going all the way. It needs a Blue Lock collab. Listen, I know you expect me to say that. I get it. But Blue Lock reached so many pairs of eyeballs in so many people. And right now, as much as I'm a Blue Lock fanboy, I'm in any game I play, I'm okay. I'm still going to cosplay my Blue Lock, even if there's no semblance at all. It's too big to ignore it the way Slow Clap has ignored it. It had too much reach. It would, at this point, I wanted to have a Blue Lock collab just so it would bring back the people. My game is dying. What am I supposed to do? Lastly, it's Roach. Like, where's my collab?
It's Roach.
Put me in the cave. Bye, y'all. Peace. Bye.